Hey folks, this is your weekly Fortify Prescription video. It's a little bit late this week. Can't say I've got any excuses except that the week last week got away from me. So better late than never. What I'm going to talk to you about this week is the rest day that I prescribe into each week. So there's actually only 4 sessions in the week. So technically you have 3 rest days, but I actually prescribe a recovery day, a blood flow day. Now, the first thing to say is that if you have the time and the energy, that those sessions, let's call them a recovery session, are actually they're like gold. They make the rest of the training, they add weight to it essentially. So people are always looking for a quick fix, something to add on to their training, a supplement or a piece of gear or the latest weightlifting shoes or whatever it is. Actually, you can get that with doing recovery work. So actually doing focused work, either in the gym or outside or at home, where you're actually focusing on recovery and promoting recovery and blood flow. Now, a lot of you might not have time for that. You might be struggling just to get the 4 sessions in a week, and that's cool. Those recovery days, they're optional. They're there if you've got the time. If you have got the time, then doing what I call blood flow work is going to greatly increase A, your health, and B, your ability to recover from the training that we do. And that depends on your level. If you're someone who's been close to or in elite performance in any sport, you're going to know the importance of recovery work. And you might not find that the training you're doing on the Fortify Prescription that challenging. But doing recovery work isn't just about recovering from the training and promoting growth in terms of your performance in the gym. It's about general health. Blood flow is what we need to clear out toxins from the body, as well as sweating as well. Sweating's so important for clearing toxins from the body. And so it doesn't have to just be movement. There's loads of things we can do, and I'm going to talk about the different things that we can do now. So on those recovery days, I prescribe lots of different things. Sometimes I prescribe a movement flow piece where you might be doing some isometric holds, you might be doing some dynamic stretching type stuff like table rocks or even just air squats. It's something that's very low impact for you. So the first thing is that you need to make sure it's low impact. If I do prescribe 15 air squats and you're very, very new to training, maybe you're struggling with your weight or you've had a knee injury or something like that, air squats probably aren't going to help your recovery. You need to find something that's low impact for you. So maybe you'd replace air squats with something like a wall sit, or just sitting on the bike, or you don't do that part of it. So making sure that it's specific to you is really important. And if you ever have any questions about that, please do fire away and send me an email. The main tenet and principle to understand with recovery and blood flow is that it's got to be ridiculously easy. It's got to feel like you're barely doing anything. And that's really, really important to understand, because if you actually end up making it another training session, you're kind of just piling junk volume onto your week. What we're looking for is something that rejuvenates you, that gets blood flowing without it being a challenge to your central nervous system and getting you into fight or flight. The way to understand it is you should leave those sessions feeling super relaxed and sleepy almost. Maybe not sleepy, but certainly very relaxed and chilled out. In terms of what you should be doing, we're doing anything that is non-eccentric loading. So running is almost definitely a no in terms of recovery work, unless you have been a very high level or high volume runner. If you're someone who's run for decades and you've been running 3 or 4 times a week, maybe you've done a couple of races, or you just always run, you will actually have quite a lot of resilience around running. And so you could do a very easy, slow, short run. But for most of us, including myself, running is hard. It's hard to make that a recovery piece. And the reason for that is the eccentric loading, so the lengthening of the muscle fibres, is where most of the damage is done. And running is very much an eccentric loading piece, and it's also high impact as well. And anyone who has any sort of weight issues, so if you are overweight, running definitely isn't going to be the one for you for recovery. And for training as well, you need to be careful with it. So what can we do? Isometric holds. An isometric hold is one where you're not moving. So think about a wall sit, think about a front leaning rest. As I stand here, I'm isometrically contracting my legs. And that is something that is very low impact on the body and actually creates a lot of blood flow. So isometric holds are great. Sitting on a bike, going on the rower, especially if you're experienced on the rower, swimming, walking, they're all really good blood flow. And what I mean by blood flow is it literally means just getting the blood moving around your body. It's going to get nutrients to where they need to be. And honestly, one of the biggest issues for us as humans today is how sedentary we are. And that sedentary lifestyle that we have is just, it's bad for us in so many ways. It's beyond the scope of this video to talk about. But getting that blood flow, getting that movement counters some of it, and it actually helps you recover from the training sessions that you've been doing. Other things that we can do would be things like a sauna, having some hot and cold exposure. So in a shower, or if you've got access to like a plunge pool and a sauna, like rotating through those can be really good because it actually promotes blood flow. Obviously you need to do that carefully. If you've never done cold water exposure before, please be very careful with it. Do your research, but things like that can actually promote blood flow. So I'll have a hot shower, get really hot, and then I'll have a really cold shower, and I'll just alternate between the two, and that's going to help me to promote blood flow. Sometimes I'll run a very cold bath, put some ice in it, get in that for a couple of minutes, then go and have a hot shower, and then go back and forth and back and forth, and that's going to really help promote movement of blood through the system. Because essentially when you're cold, your whole body contracts and everything gets pulled away to try and keep your vital organs warm. And when you're hot, it's the opposite. Your body gets flushed with blood. And that blood flow principle is really important to understand because it's pushing nutrients to the extremities of the body, and it's helping the flow of lymph, which removes toxins from the body. So in a very holistic sense, it's so important. So take those days fairly seriously. Like, try and make a commitment to get them in, and you can do them as much as you want. So this sort of stuff, like going for a 20-minute walk, is what I will prescribe sometimes on that recovery day. But you can do that every single day, and it will have no impact on your gym work except for the positive, as long as it's not something that is stressing you out to squeeze in. Like, if you can squeeze it in, get it done. It's really important. And one of the number one thing that I would say to 99% of people who come to me asking about how to lose body fat, get healthier, get fitter, feel better in their bodies, is to do more movement during the day. More low effort movement. Get out walking, go up the stairs instead of taking the lift, like park your car further away from town, like tiny little things. If you have a watch or some sort of smart device that measures your footsteps, use it as a barometer and try and get them up slowly, as high as you can really. So being active is better for your recovery than sitting on the sofa watching Netflix, in my opinion. Even when you are tired, like going for a 10 or 15 minute walk, especially outside in nature, is going to rejuvenate you much more. And in the evenings, if you're feeling tired, but you're a bit wired and you've had a stressful day, the best way to decompress from the stresses of modern life will be going for a walk. Guarantee it. So much better than sitting in front of the telly and watching shit on TV. Like, that is just wiring our nervous systems for more fight or flight most of the time. So I hope this helps. If you've got any questions or suggestions, please do drop me a line. And also feel free to share this video with anyone that might benefit from it. It's on YouTube, it's not private, just no one's really going to be watching it apart from you guys. So please do share if you think it's appropriate. Thank you very much.